walked over to him and said, "Oh, you better switch your vote because you're voting wrong on this." Right. And Cruz did it as it wasn't a confusion or whatever. It was Cruz voting the way he did, but he had to switch the vote to please his constituents and stuff. So right. That's how that's the calculation. What you hit on, Bill, is Cruz being calculated.
Yeah, and people forget that Ted Cruz was not the first choice of evangelicals in this race. Ben Carson was. Yeah. And then when Mr. Carson faded, then they got behind Cruz. This is what happened in Iowa. And I think that when you take the people that will be drawn towards Donald Trump now that he's wearing a CEO cap, is coming across as more presidential, and the people that will be drawn to him because he was endorsed by Carson, who was their first choice as an evangelical, I think that's good for at least five polling points out there. Right.
Mr.
Pinko. So I think,
I'm sorry, Mr. Pinko. Can you give everybody your Twitter handle? We're going to be closing out soon, and I have a political insider that's calling in, and that's cool. Yeah. So just keep listening. I'm going to put you on hold. Okay, you can keep listening here, or you can go right to. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so I have a political. You can follow me. Go ahead. Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter with at @MR_Pinko, Pinko. So it's at Mr. Pinko, but it's at MR_Pinko, and follow my crazy videos. Awesome. And thank you, Bill, for all the retweets. I really appreciate it.
Sure. I retweet the good stuff, so your stuff must be good.
All right, Mr. Pinko. I'll talk to you soon. You got it, Chris. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
All right, we're gonna pivot now. We're gonna talk about this upcoming Tuesday, Bill, with a political reporter who's always helping me out here. She was at CPAC and she called in, and she's always calling me when she goes on a campaign trail, and she's an amazing reporter. She writes for politichicks.com, and her name is Mona Salama. Mona Salama, welcome to the Silent Majority here on New Media Patriot Radio.
What's going on, guys?
How are you? You sound tired.
We're just hanging out, having fun.
You sound tired. Have you been overworked? What's going on?
Well, yeah, I'm in grad school. I'm like in my last semester right now, and plus this, everything's like, oh my God, forgot it. But yeah.
Hold on a second.
I'm always tired.
You're in grad school. How do you find the time? Every time you call me, you're calling from a different state.
I have no clue. I don't know. I probably do my work whenever I can.
Awesome. So today we were talking about a lot of stuff, but one thing we didn't touch on, we did touch on the protests in in Chicago. But let's pivot to Tuesday's upcoming election. Tell us a little bit about what's going to be going on there, and how do you feel about the candidates' chances in the particular states?
Well, there's 6 states voting. 2 of them are winner take all, and 1 state is Florida, which is 99 delegates, so it's really huge. It's a big one. And another one is Ohio, which is 66. And if Donald Trump takes both these states, Florida and Ohio, he now I'm going to say automatically, but he already ran away with the nomination. But if, what's very critical about this is because we have 2 other candidates against Trump, that's their home state, Ohio being John Kasich, the governor of that state, and Florida for Marco Rubio, who's a senator. And right now the chances for Marco Rubio does not look so good after he went on full attack mode against Donald Trump before Super Tuesday. But for Ohio, it looks like there is a chance for Kasich to stay and win that state. He just got endorsed by Boehner, which means a lot in Ohio because, that was their congressman. As much as Republicans outside of Ohio hate him, people in Ohio actually do like him, so that actually helps them to favor. It might not look good in the future when people say, oh, my God, the curse endorsed you. Mm-hmm. But for Marco Rubio, it does not look so good because he's getting a lot of ads hit against him. Trump invested a lot of money to put ads against Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio has a lot of flaws in Florida that a lot of people are caught on about. And in We'll see what happens on Tuesday.
Mona, do you think it'll be a big speed bump for Donald Trump if he does not win Ohio, but he does win Florida? Do you think that's just a minor speed bump, or do you think that it doesn't really matter? Oh, well, it does matter, but how do you feel?
Well, it does. I think if he doesn't win Ohio, he's going to be like, whatever. It's gonna hurt him for a second, but then he's gonna move on, and then he's gonna focus on Utah, and then going on. He's gonna be more worried about winning New York, which is in a month from today. Mm-hmm. So he's gonna be focusing on winning other states that have bigger delegates. I know Ohio is almost a lot of delegates, but if he loses to Kasich is not like Cruz, where if Ohio went to Cruz, I would think Donald Trump will go crazy because Cruz is only behind him by 99 delegates. So he's a little worried about Cruz more than Kasich.
Okay.
But if he wins Ohio,
go ahead.
If he wins Ohio, it's, not too much of a big, difference for Kasich. He only has about 60 delegates right now.
Right.
Trump has about 450.
Right. Hold on one second. Let me just reset here. You're listening to the Silent Majority here on New Media Patriot Radio. The number to call is 347-338-1775. And on the Rebooting Liberty hotline, I have political reporter Mona Salama. And co-hosting today with me is none other than Bill Mitchell. The guy is famous on Twitter. He was recently on one of his tweets was actually featured on the Jimmy Kimmel show. It was hilarious, the one about the matches. But Bill, you have a question for Mona?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking about Ohio as well. Today, I have friends working on the campaign. They're, very, very good friends. And they're talking to me. Ohio is an open primary. And they're talking to me that there are tremendous numbers of Democrats and independents switching over to come and vote for Trump in this. And this is one thing. The polls, depending on what the polls use as their likely voter model, they may not be capturing these people. Because if they're using a likely voter model based on who voted in 2012, there's a big segment out there that's not capturing all these people they're going to cross over. In addition, when you look at Kasich, you have to wonder how motivated people are going to be. People may say to a pollster, yeah, I'm going to vote for Kasich, but will they actually get in the car, go out and vote for him when they know the guy can't possibly win? So polls may be underestimating Trump's support. They may be overestimating Kasich's turnout. Another thing is that although it's best, in my opinion, if Trump wins Ohio, if he loses Ohio, there are benefits to that as well because it keeps Kasich in the race and keeps the opposition divided. See? So if he loses Ohio, it's not that painful because it keeps you got to have Cruz, you can have at least Kasich, Rubio will probably drop out if he loses Florida, but that keeps two other guys in, and so it keeps Kasich and Cruz fighting for the non-Trump vote. And so Trump just keeps winning and winning and winning. So, as painful things go, it's not that painful, even if he does lose Ohio, but I think he's going to win it.
How do you feel about that, Mona, that analysis?
Well, Case, I think you're right on. You're spot on. I think Kasich is going to win Ohio. Even though right now he's in Ohio right now at a rally, I have it on mute. But I think he's more worried about winning Florida to get rid of Rubio. I think he sees Rubio as a bigger, threat because Rubio has the money, has the, people supporting him. So I think him and Trump and Cruz right now are really worried about getting rid of Rubio. But at the same time, Trump is like, if I get rid of Rubio, all those votes that went to Rubio are going to go to Cruz. Yeah. They're not going to really go to me.
Right. I was going to mention that. Yeah. Go ahead.
So he's like, if I get rid of Rubio, it's going to be in favor for Cruz. So it's like a catch-22. Like I want to go against me and Cruz, but at the same time, what if Cruz starts catching up and starts, with what's going on lately and the recent news with the reporter situation? I can't really talk about. A lot of people are really hyped up about it, and then with what happened in Chicago, everybody's gonna be like, well, I don't want to live in this country again. Like, what another 7 years of protesting as if Trump is the president. And, I don't want to see this where if, God forbid, he goes to a state, people are going to erupt in, turmoil. It's going to be, worse than Baltimore, worse than Chicago. So a lot of people who are anti-Trump are seeing that perspective. And then you have, the Trump people are going to be, can start a feud, start a war where, the protester punched a kid. An 80-year-old man punched a 25-year-old kid. it's going to get worse and worse. And you see both spectrum of what's going on, and a lot of people are scared.
Would you hold on one second, Mona? Would you say that both spectrums, like, I mean, they're not of equal value in that on the other side, this is an established ideology that's being funded by George Soros, and a movement that's being funded by all these open borders who have this agenda, this globalist agenda, who want to convert this country into a socialist society. Do you think it's unfair to compare one side to that one person who punched that one kid in the face?
It's not fair at all.
Okay.
You have an organization that's like planned that Trump was coming to Chicago, and Chicago's the open primary, and they know that Trump could win that state, and they're scared. And you have all these like protesters coming together, organizing, trying to like get all the tickets so they will be able to go inside, trying to organize protesting outside. You can't compare that to a huge incident and then the protest that happened yesterday when Trump was in Kansas City. There was so many protesting breaking out in the beginning of his speech.
Right.
As opposed to the one incident where we don't know what happened before the cameras went into that guy and caught him punching him.
Right.
But, with the protesters, they're so, I've been to his rally, their attitudes and how they act is so disgusting.
Right.
So, of course, a pro-Trump supporter is going to see that. He's livid, and then he's going to punch him. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Bill. Bill?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. I was just listening to what you were saying. Yeah, I think that this is all going to turn out better than everybody thinks it's going to be. Okay. I think everybody thinks it's going to be pitchforks and torches and and civil war and a fight to the death at the convention. I really don't think that's going to happen. I think that we got a sort of an early sign from McCarthy, the House leader, where he said, I think we could actually pick up House seats with Trump as a candidate,
right,
because of the fantastic turnout.
Right.
And I think once Trump does very well on this Tuesday, and he starts to become inevitable, I think people are going to start to say, wait a minute, he's a deal maker, he's a negotiator. At least we can try to work with him. Whereas Cruz is my joke with Cruz is he's going to be a great infrastructure president because he's always my way or the highway, and we're going to end up with mostly highway.
Exactly, Mona.
You're right.
Yeah, it's so true, and for everybody that's saying Donald Trump's going to make deals. You know what? Ronald Reagan made deals that were some were pretty good, and he worked with both sides. He was able to work with the Democratic side, and ultimately, as long as it deals benefit the people that voted him in, benefit those people, I would say 80% of the time, I'll take it. Whereas right now we're not getting, I don't even think we're getting 5% of the time. Nothing. So we're not getting anything.
We get nothing.
We got nothing. So Mona, go ahead, Bill.
I was going to say Ted Cruz doesn't understand deal making, and that's why he thinks when he hears the word deal making, he thinks bad. He thinks surrender, because he doesn't understand how to make deals. When Donald Trump hears the word deal making, he thinks victory. He thinks win. Ted Cruz talks about the Constitution all the time. Doesn't he realize the Constitution was a deal? Do you think those guys all got together and just agreed on everything and said, it's wonderful and sat around the campfire saying kumbaya? No, they fought like cats and dogs.
Yeah, exactly.
What I don't like going on Cruz, what I don't like about him, and it really turns me off. And when I see his supporters, they're like, "You're not supposed to compromise. And work with Congress and blah blah." So how are you going to expect to get things done? Cruz is not Mr. Superman, and he has these superpowers, and he's going to, get out his lasers and make sure like things are going to happen. At least with Rubio, he tried to make something happen, even though it was not a good plan he tried to do. At least he tried to work with Congress. And like you call it, the Schumer-Rubio bill, it was the gang of 8. There was 8 people. He tried to make something happen. At least he tried. What have you done the past 4 years you've been in Congress?
He read.
These Cruz supporters.
He read Green.
Worse than Trump supporters.
Yeah, he read Green Eggs at him. Mona.
Oh, great.
Yeah, Mona, you write for politichicks.com, correct? What are you working on right now that is going to be out this week? Anything?
I don't know, anything in the story that happens. I'm gonna focus on, Super Tuesday 3, that's what I call it. Okay. And I don't know, anything that happens from now until Super Tuesday, I would say.
Okay, so you put...
a report is nothing is planned.
No, I just thought maybe you were working on something, being that, actually you were studying all day, so